Hello and welcome to my gallery here in southwest France. I'm Diana, I'm a watercolourist. I work and live here in this lovely old building, and I'm on a project of sorting out. Actually, I'm hoping to sell this lovely old place because it's just too big for me now, and I want to move to a small place where I can still carry on painting and live. And so with that in mind, I've started the enormous task of looking through all my paintings, which I've accumulated over, dare I say it, more than 50 years of painting in watercolour. It's an enormous task. I have piles, literally piles of paintings, and some framed, as you see the ones behind me. Of course, this takes ages, and I get sidetracked all the time coming across old friends, because they are all old friends. And thinking of this video, the one that I'm working towards now, and the time of year, slightly dull and depressing, and I'm thinking about mood and atmosphere. I came across a painting from 1995. Here we are. This is definitely moody, atmospheric, and I thought, well, this will be a good one to use to help you with your control of washes, to help you to embrace a simple composition and give you the opportunity to practice blending and using water to create an effect. This is quite a simple composition, very atmospheric, and at the time, because I do remember, it was really enjoyable to do. So I decided, okay, we'll use this as our pattern for today. We'll paint a picture similar, not exactly the same, and see how we go. And along the way, I hope you follow me in the different steps and stages. Quite a lot of different techniques to use here, and I hope you find it enjoyable and stay with me every step of the way. If you haven't done so already, please don't forget to subscribe and like, and please leave your comments. I won't be going far. I'll still be carrying on with my videos. Hopefully find a place not too far away, because I love France. I won't leave France at all. I just need smaller premises where with less maintenance, less upkeep, and where I can paint and live comfortably. So we'll see how we go. Life's always a journey, so follow me on this painting journey and enjoy. Now, for this very misty, moody panorama, I have a selection of palettes ready to go. I have two palettes which essentially are going to create some soft greys. Burnt sienna and ultramarine here, and Indian red and Payne's grey. And also I have a selection of greens on this palette, which consists of Windsor blue green shade with transparent yellow, and then Payne's grey, which will, mixed with the transparent yellow, will give me a more sombre green. I really don't think I will need any other palettes than this. Brushes, I have two lovely mop brushes, one round and one slightly more pointed, and my liner brush. And my paper is stretched on the board this time, and it's Italian paper, Fabriano Artistico, with a certain amount of, it is torchon, rough grain. 2 pots of water, so we're all ready to start. Now we're going to create this misty effect, the misty atmospheric effect, by wetting some areas of the paper and leaving other areas dry when we apply the paint. And you can see that I have my palettes all ready to go. And I'm going to start off with the mix of ultramarine blue and burnt sienna mixed together already on the palette to produce a very dark grey. I'm applying that to the dry part of the paper at the top for the black cloud that's hanging over the area. I'm taking it just to the point where the paper has been wetted with clean water, and now I've spotted some colour in just to increase the degree of colour that we have there. And because this is a French ultramarine and burnt sienna mix, we're going to get some granulation and the colour will kind of separate, as you'll see as we progress through the video. I'm adding water to the edge here to make sure that there is a gradual influx of colour into the wetted area. And now I'm coming to the other end of I wet the area in the middle, but down below in the midground and the foreground it's still dry. But I want to add colour from the other palette, which is the Payne's Grey and Indian Red palette. And this is to start the definition of the hills. But it's all very muted, and wherever I want to lose the edge of the paint, I add water so it blends. So this is a very gradual build-up, a gradual process of adding colour, working with those 2 palettes, adding ultramarine, French ultramarine and burnt sienna at the bottom of the paper as well. So I have these 2 areas, darker areas, top and bottom. Now you can see I'm just adding water in one area where I want the colour to disperse and diffuse, again to create this atmospheric mistiness. But now I'm working on the dry part of the paper to get more definition. So planning the areas that you wet, the areas where you want the mistiness to be, is important to do before you start. And then you put the colour on the dry areas and take it to meet the already wet areas so that it will flow through those and create a more diffused look. You can see how that's happened here. We've got darker colour on the right, then it hits the wet spot and diffuses and becomes very misty and very, very, well, almost non-existent really. I'm going into the green palette now and adding a hint of green, because this central bit is going to be our area, our lightest area. The area where the light is coming from a break in the heavy cloud which is overhead. So the mop brush will take colour out. It's dry now, and I'm working more on the foreground, adding again this mix of ultramarine blue and burnt sienna to give the rocky foreground. It's all about contrast, this picture. It's very subtle and very gentle, but the contrast that we see is important. You can see the lighter area in the middle. That's what I want to keep. And I want it to be emphasised by having these darker areas alongside it to create that contrast. And so I'm just doing a wibbly wobbly line here just to kind of suggest a tree line. Again, still using the two palettes with the greys and browns. Dry now, and I'm adding some detail. Just a hint of the fields and the trees that are in the foreground, still far away but visible. Using the liner brush and the colour, both the palettes again. This palette is the Indian Red Payne's Grey palette, and just adding some darker tones, and again creating that line. You can see now how that's brought the foreground forward, and now I'm working on the midground, again adding water and then colour to meet it, so we get some areas that are more visible than others. It's all about what they call lost edges, which lost edges are created by adding water to the edge of a band of colour. And that's exactly what we're doing. Introducing a light, very light greeny yellow mix of New Gamboge and Windsor Blue Green shade, just to give a hint of the fields in the valley bottom. And you can see how the brush applies colour and then we apply water to meet it. So the whole thing has a blending effect, which is what we want to create. And it doesn't matter if it's not the same as the original, because it's all about creating that feeling for hills in the distance and the contrast. We've got this little patch of sunlight coming through the clouds, and so now with the liner brush I'm adding more detail and contrast, just suggesting the trees and the field boundaries. I want the eye to go through into the picture, so I'm taking the detail just in the centre, more detailed, and up into the hills, as you can see, to take your eye through. As I said, this is a very gentle picture, very subtle, but very atmospheric. And just to emphasize the shafts of light coming from the cloud, now it's dry, I'm using just a damp tissue to take out just a little bit of light, and also along the cloud line. Because it's this mix of ultramarine and burnt sienna, it's easy to move. And there we have the finished picture. Thank you for watching my video. I hope it's given you the inspiration and the knowledge to have a go at washes, gentle washes, atmospheric washes, to create a very peaceful and soothing picture. Till the next time, happy painting. Bye.